reconcile economic growth with environmental degradation? Because most of the time we talk about economic growth, it's about building roads, it's about mining, but these same projects or initiatives also degrade the environment. How do we reconcile that?
You know, there's sufficient information and knowledge and ability right now for environmentally sustainable growth. I don't think we should shy away. We should shy away from that. It will come. There's a lot of technology. There will be stresses. I don't disagree. I think there will be stresses, but a continent like Africa cannot afford to say that it cannot grow in an environmentally sustainable manner because you don't have the money to clean up. I mean, look at we are paying for their sins. And all this global warming is really because of that unsustainable development that has come from the north. And I think the globe cannot afford unsustainable development from even those of us who are catching up. However, we think, and I think that's where the responsibility and the global and the shared responsibility comes.
How do we then sensitize the government because they prioritize development over environmental conservation? How do we then get them to pay attention to that in practice anyway?
The Kenya government?
Yes.
I don't think it's an accurate analysis of what at least the Kenyan government does in terms of taking care of the environment. I mean, there is a lot of evidence that a lot is being done in terms of understanding that the resources we have are not always all renewable, and if we deplete them in a manner that actually creates the cycle that brings about environmental degradation, we will not be able to cater for the needs of the people in this country and in this region. So I believe strongly that there is also evidence that the fact that we have the seat of UN Habitat and UNEP in this city, although it's a global organization, but the fact that it is residing in this country is an opportunity that this country is already taking. And a lot of dialogue and discussion is. And then we come back to this discussion of today. We are saying the development agenda of the MDGs that brings us up to 2015 has made us get results. But these results have not been equitably distributed. The design of the process was not inclusive enough. So the inclusiveness shouldn't be seen only in one perspective as to how we get the agenda to be involving other people. But even the process itself, the process is as good as the result. The fact that private sector politicians were brought into this discussion, and it's no longer just perceived as a club of people who sit down and drive the world, is a clear evidence that the changes now, and the changes for the purpose of doing better what we have done in the past and doing it in a more coherent manner. So yes, there may be a perception that not enough is being done, but we need to keep talking. And that's one of the things that as development partners, we do hope that as we dialogue with the government becomes more and more accountable and responsible for taking this agenda so that it's then seen as they are in the driver's seat.
But it is about the underinvestments here in agriculture, in infrastructure, in energy, ICT, and perhaps to get it right from the beginning. Yes. Cost-efficient solutions with the latest technology, innovations. I think one can get this right from the beginning. And also figuring out how it's also reaching the poor. Yeah. So I think if things get right now, it could be a very dynamic decade. But I think it's also important with smart economics and good macroeconomic stability that is here, but also to see that there are economic reforms helping to integrate the economy and also work on a regional basis, because those kind of investments that are needed are not only for Kenya, it's also for neighboring countries.